What's up, everybody? J-Heat Sports Media coming at y'all again with that fire as always. Spitting the hot topics and getting the sports conversation started. Y'all know what I'm talking about: football, basketball, and boxing. Let's get into it. All right, so I gotta address the topic of the College Football Playoff Committee, namely leaving out Florida State. A lot of people are in an uproar about this, and it's a polarizing topic because you got people from both sides now that's got an opinion. Obviously, the ACC and Florida State is outraged at the fact that they were left out of the college football playoffs. The committee is going to try to defend themselves that they are right and they know what they're doing, and they did the best they could to put the best four teams in the college football playoffs. And the fans, depending on if you're a fan of Florida State or not, or you just a fan of seeing certain teams in the playoffs, you're going to have an opinion. What I'm going to address most importantly is Florida State being left out. What's my opinion on that situation? First of all, if you feel like the College Football Playoff Committee did what they needed to do, that's up to you. But if what you feel is they put the best four teams in the college football playoffs, I'm here to tell you you're wrong. We have no way of truly knowing that, and that's the beauty of what the playoffs is supposed to be all about. It should have been at least 6 teams to begin with, and when we get to 12, that's going to be great. But we got 4. That's what we got to deal with. And yes, it's a tough decision to make, but it should still be decided on the field. First and foremost, Florida State played one of the top 10 best schedules in college football this season. They're in a power football conference, and they played well. They went undefeated. Yes, their quarterback was missing. Their backup ended up with a concussion, but chances are by the time the game comes around for the bowl game, their backup will probably at least be available. And even if he's not, the team as a whole for Florida State has proven to be solid this entire time, if you're paying attention. And if you're not paying attention, just go look at the numbers. They went undefeated, and deservingly so. Should have been one of the 4 teams, the 4 best teams to be in the college football playoffs. That's no joke about it. Georgia had an argument. Obviously, being defending national champions, just losing one game is tough for them to be kicked out, but at least they lost a game. Florida State did not lose, and in my opinion, should have been at least the 4 seed. You go look at their offense, and truthfully, of the 4 teams that's picked that's supposed to be the best teams in college football, or what the committee says is the 4 best, you only have Texas and Washington that truly have a better total offense than Florida State. Now, the quarterback for Florida State has something to do with that, but they're still a complete team. They're not just based on only the quarterback, as we saw them being able to still get W's, which they leaned on their defense. Again, total offense-wise, Washington and Texas, yeah, but Michigan and Alabama, nah, they don't have a better offense, or at least they didn't play that way. And remember, Florida State had a good schedule this year. Also, defensive-wise, Michigan's really the only team of the 4 that's in it that definitively you could say got a better defense than what Florida State showed in production on the field. So Florida State has been a total team, and they've been winning games, and even when their quarterback went down and then their second string went down, they won games. Ugly or not, injuries are part of the game first and foremost. So for those that say, well, you got to go with the players on the field, and Alabama is going to put up a better game, or Texas and Washington are going to put up a better game than Florida State would have if they had to be in the college football playoffs. We really don't know. We just guessing. What we know is Florida State went undefeated. And it sucks for those players to be in this position and not be able to get a chance to prove whether or not they are worthy of being there. They've proven it on the field that they were worthy, but proven it that they were worthy to compete for a championship, or maybe I'm even wording that wrong, proving that they're able to win a championship, not worthy, because they proved that by going undefeated. But to prove that they can win a national championship, they needed the opportunity to play in the college football playoffs. Who knows what's going to happen in that game? Is it going to be a defensive struggle in each of the playoff games? Is it going to be an offensive explosion? Is some key player going to get hurt on the other team because Florida State's defense is out there hitting? We really don't know, and we ain't give them a chance to see. What it comes down to is money, and Alabama and Texas are sexier squads to have in the college football playoffs. So is Washington with the offense that they're going to bring, or at least we think, because again, we don't know. Once that game starts, the game could go sideways. You never know. But we know Florida State has grinded out an undefeated season throughout this year and deserved to be in the playoffs based on the fact that they were one of the 4 best teams based on record, conference, and performance throughout the season. Based on revenue generating for the games, having an Alabama and a Texas in these playoffs, I get it. But we got to be honest what we're doing here. If it were a 12-game playoffs, in my opinion, and I don't know if I'm right or not, but it would be interesting to know, would they have dropped Florida State out of the 4? If more teams could have made it to the playoffs, would they just kept them at 4 and allowed other teams to be in it and then see what happens? That's food for thought, something for you to think about. But Florida State, they got screwed, no doubt about it. And the College Football Playoff Committee is going to be hoping and praying that they're proven right by Georgia beating Florida State. Georgia beats Florida State, they get to say, see, Alabama beat Georgia, and Florida State couldn't beat Georgia, so that's your proof. Maybe. If Alabama had to play Georgia again, do they beat them again? We don't know, especially on a neutral field. So Florida State deserved the opportunity is the bottom line. Now, if Florida State beats Georgia, they're going to say we had to do what we had to do, obviously. But it's going to look bad. It's going to look real bad. Let me know what y'all think. All right, that's all the time I got. Y'all know what it is, and you know who you looking for. J Heat Sports Media. Remember to like, subscribe, or get at me in the comments. Y'all know where to find me. YouTube, Instagram, X, and TikTok. Let me know what y'all thought about this video.